Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura, and today I am doing my wrap-up for the cramathon that I did. This was hosted by Whitney Novels. This was taking place on July 10th to July 13th. It was 4 days, and I completed 5 books. So I'm very proud of myself. I didn't complete all the challenges, but I did complete 5 books. So let's see, the first one, the challenge was the child book. I did not read a child book. The second challenge was a hardback. I did not get to my hardback book. The third challenge was 2 books in 24 hours. I did read 2 graphic novels in 24 hours. I read Lock and Key by Joe Hill, which is book 1. And this one's really, really good. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It has a lot of gore, a lot of death in it, a lot of blood, but I did enjoy the story. I think it is for mature audiences. It is a kind of little spooky because they kill people in it, so and it's kind of graphic, but I did enjoy the story, and I will be continuing. And if you don't know, I just learned this recently in the last year or so that Joe Hill is the son of Stephen King, so that's pretty cool. So it is a little spooky, and there was ghosts in this as well. So it was really cool. So that was the first book. And the second graphic novel that I completed was book 3 of Chew, which is called Just Desserts. It's this one. I really enjoyed this one as well. We get to learn more about Chew. Chew is the detective, and he eats things, and he sees what happened to them. So if he eats an apple, he can see what orchard it came from, or what happened, how it was grown up there. So if he eats other things, he could see what happens. So it's pretty cool. There was more of him and his girlfriend, so you could see them in the picture here. And also you get to meet his family in this one. So I really enjoyed it. I gave this one 4 stars. And I will continue. I already own, I think 4, 5, and 6, something like that. So I own that. So the next thing is the graphic novels, which I just showed you 2 of them. The next book is challenge was a book written in verse. So I was going to read my my books by Helen Hopkins. But the book is so huge, I didn't think I was going to make it through in 3 days, 4 days. So I searched online on Goodreads, and I found a book, and I found a book that I actually owned, and it was on my kids' shelf. So I picked up Heartbeat by Sharon Creech, and this one is written in verse. And it's really good. It's told by an 11-year-old girl. I really enjoyed it. It was fast, and I read it. Her mom is having a baby, and her grandfather is suffering from memory loss, so he might have Alzheimer's or whatever. But I really enjoyed the story. I gave this one 4 stars as well, and my daughter is reading this for her middle school read. So she is halfway through the book as well, and she's enjoying it as well. So that was this one. And the next challenge was to read a novella. So I picked up The Prince by Kira Cass, and I read this one, and I really enjoyed this one as well. I think I gave it 4 stars. I think yes, I gave it 4 stars. This is a written by the Prince, and he's telling the story, and it's actually book 1, the selection, and a little bit of the elite, but he's telling the story, and it was pretty interesting. We learn more about his past, and that he had a girlfriend before the selection, which was pretty interesting. I didn't know that, and so I really enjoyed this one. So I did pick up the next one after this called The Guard, which is I am currently reading The Guard by Kira Cass. That is also a novella, and I'm halfway through that one, but I didn't finish it for the cramathon. And that one is told by Aspen. And I'm enjoying that one as well. And once I finish that, I'll be able to read The Air, which I already own. So I can't wait to finish that series. I'm really enjoying that series. So. And during the cramathon, I decided to finish something that I had on my Kindle. I was like 80% through a book that I had to read for NetGalley, and I took it out, and the book is actually released now, so I had to like hurry up and finish it to give my review. And the book that I had out was Does This Beach Make Me Look Fat by Lisa Scottolini. And I learned while I was reading this that I was pronouncing her name wrong throughout the entire time, every time I pronounced her books. It's rhymes with fettuccine, so it's Scottolini is her name. So I learned that. I only gave this book 3 stars. This is a non-fiction book. I did like Lisa's stories. I can relate more to Lisa's stories. She writes this with her daughter, her name is Francesca Sedatelli. I don't know if I said it right. But she's writing this with her daughter, and her daughter was writing more about dating and all that. So I wasn't relating to her stories, but I was relating to Lisa's stories. And at one point, I was reading this at my pool near my mother's, and I laughed out loud at one point. So, and I actually had to read the chapter to my mother because she's like, "What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?" So, I probably would give this 3.5 stars, just because I like Lisa's stories the best. So that's it on that. And so the last challenge was read 5 books in total. So I read 5 books, and that's it. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I want to say thank you to Whitney for hosting this. So I did get 5 books done in 4 days, which is amazing for me. So thank you so much, and I hope she does another one. I think she's doing another one during Christmas time. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you all were reading this weekend and have a nice summer still. So, bye!